Okay. So, oh wait, we have an intro.
Oh shit!
So-
We have an intro.
Cue the intro.
Oh god.
Okay, welcome back.
You just have to cut that out.
Yeah, I have to cut it. So, welcome back. This is episode 4. It's been 1 week since we did this
yeah.
again.
Stupid.
So, we went to Redoso. We had a little bit of fun for Eric's birthday. Eric, did you have fun?
Eric, look it up.
Eric's not here.
He's not here. He's not with us today.
Eric, Sunny Marie is 22? 23?
Yeah, I'm 22.
22? Okay. Okay. I am 30.
You are 30.
And Eric is 14. And he's the only one that can fucking manage to get plans to do things with his friends. And we're here hanging out with each other, making
We're
a
taking
podcast.
this shit seriously.
This is serious.
This is a very serious. I don't know.
Podcast. Like, when we're famous. Just kidding. I don't know if that ever is going to happen. But
Hey, if you believe,
I do believe.
then we're fine.
You went a little viral on TikTok, so it gave me a little bit of
People think I'm stupid because of girl math. You gotta, like, I know it sounds stupid, but girl math is girl math.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you were trying to do.
Because I'm not stupid. I know my money is my money. But girl math.
Girl math is girl math.
I earned that money.
Yes, I agree.
It got added to my bank account.
And honestly, if people online were like seriously raking you over the coals, but I knew that what you were doing is like you were kind of like exaggerating how you feel. Like,
yeah.
okay,
The way I think is the way I think. I'm not going to change it for anybody. So you can say whatever you want.
but you're being silly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is how I think, and this is just kind of like a joke. Like,
Yeah.
Again, like sometimes you kind of do feel that way when you find $10 that was already yours. It's like the $10 was my pocket.
Like,
oh
shit!
shit!
Like, I just added. Like, I have another $10 to spend.
Because you didn't know you had it.
Yes.
I get it. I get girl math. I would never say it out loud, but keep saying stupid shit because that's what's gonna make us famous.
Exactly.
So,
I'm saying all the shit that I actually think and believe,
yes.
and everyone thinks it's a joke.
Well, it might be a joke.
Yeah.
It's a joke, but it's okay. I mean, you know, sometimes I have stupid thoughts, but sometimes
all my thoughts stupid.
You have a lot more. So that we can get into this a little bit, we wanted to talk about, because at the beginning we said eventually we were going to talk about our work, and we've been avoiding it for the last 3 episodes. Yeah. So it's time. For people that don't know what we do, Sunny, tell the people at home what we do for a living.
So our business is about headstones.
Hey, get the mic closer to your mouth right
Can't
now.
hear me? Hello?
That's better. That's good.
So what our business is more for just like we engrave headstones. And we started that because my dad has been at the cemetery his whole life. He's been doing funerals since he was a kid. And yeah, so once like he got like really wanted to get into his own work, his own business, he started the headstone business, and that's what we've had for 22 years now? 23?
1999.
So 23 years. 25
years. Oh yeah. You're going to get there. Girl math is not like regular math.
It's a year older than me, isn't it? Not 2 years?
No, it's 2 years. It's 99.
Oh.
99.
Yeah, it's 25. He turned 25.
Yeah, 25. In June, it'll be 25 years old.
Yeah.
We don't want to give the name to the business.
Just because we...
This is its own entity.
Yeah.
So we don't... Whatever we say on here don't want used against like our dad's business or whatever. But he kind of gave us permission to talk about the stuff we do at work.
Especially because he likes it. He likes people to know what we do. He likes to brag about us doing the work that he did as a kid. He likes it. He likes to get the name out there.
Yeah. So I I carve the headstones. I install them. Sunny helps install them, and
Helps. I do a better job than you.
yeah, she's very much more meticulous when it comes to installing the headstones, and which is cool. But also, we maintain a couple cemeteries in the town.
It's one of the main ones.
One of the main ones. We won't name it, but we dig the graves by hand, pick and shovel.
And a lot of people don't think that we do that.
Yeah,
That's weird.
and it also, yeah, it's all pick, all shovel. It's a old cemetery.
And there's not a lot of room to put like a big backhoe in there, so we got to do it by hand, or we're gonna mess up a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so everything is just it's done old fashioned, and let me tell you, it sucks. It's tiring,
especially in the summer. Oh
yeah,
my god,
it's not fun. Hard labor, is, I can't even figure out another word. It just sucks.
Yeah,
but
it's hard. Like you have to have a good like you got to be like be able to like mentally tell yourself like just get through it, get through it, get through it, get through it. You're almost done. You're almost done. You're almost done.
Yeah, because digging holes. And by the way, if you watch a movie, any movie where they're digging a grave to bury a body, right, to hide a body, and you see, like,
that is not like.
It's not.
They made it seem so easy.
Yes,
it is not easy.
Yeah, you see like them starting the grave, and they're like.
And it's usually like out in the woods, like all these trees and all that. And like,
20
you're not
minutes
running
later,
into any roots, any rocks, nothing. Like, no. That's
no. Yeah. If you're digging in the forest next to a bunch of trees, you're going to have to chop down a bunch of roots.
You need a bunch of equipment for that.
Like
you need
an axe, a chainsaw.
Yeah, they made it seem so easy.
I get so mad because it's like 5 minutes later, they're like 3 feet down, and I'm like,
I know, I'm like,
bullshit.
That took me like 3 hours.
Yeah. So it's on average it'll take us like 4 hours, 5 hours to dig a grave.
If we're really like trying to get through it before it gets really hot, then we are gonna get out of there before 3.
Yeah, and it's but as much as we complain about it, as much as we say how hard it is,
we have a lot of good memories with it.
Yeah, it's cool. It's taught me a lot. I worked there for when I was a kid, right? I worked there as a kid growing up. Let me rephrase. Let me figure out how to say this. I started working there when I was like 10 or 11, 12. We start learning. Out. Yeah, take Sunny. They even took Sunny. She started doing it around that age. Eric is starting to do it around this age now too. So it's you get started doing that, and then I wanted to do my own thing. I wanted to get another job. I wanted to work somewhere else. But the good thing, the reason why this is good to work with your dad doing hard labor is because I went to my first other job was working at a cell phone place selling phones, and you don't realize like how everybody else your age is lazy.
Yeah.
Like everybody around you is lazier than you, and all our whole lives, we were told you're lazy by my dad, by my mom. Yeah, don't be so lazy.
We were the lazy kids, and we was like, what?
Yeah.
And then like for us to be adults and be like, we are not lazy.
We were not lazy in comparison.
We'd complain. Don't get me wrong. We'd complain about the heat. We'd complain about having to do it, but
not
everybody complains about having to like be at the it's just people complain about like the stupidest things too, and for us to complain about hard labor like that, and then to see that, it was like a
you see it like at other jobs, because Sunny now has another job outside of work too. And she'll tell me the same thing that I witnessed when I left the business for a little bit, was like, damn, everybody around me moves a lot slower.
Yeah.
But in our eyes, I mean, in our parents' eyes, we're
of course, yeah. Lazy. A lot of people weren't raised the way we were. A lot of people didn't have to start working at like 10, 11 years old, and we did. It was just like that was like, instead of having chores, like we were like at the cemetery or at the office, or just
go set a headstone, doing
something.
It's just and we complained all growing up, but I don't regret it. I don't feel like upset about it. Yeah, because I learned so much. I learned so much from my dad. I learned so much from my mom. Um, silence your phone, please. Just kidding. And so it's really cool. It's just something that we got involved with since we were kids, and growing up now and seeing how far and how cool everything is, like, going full circle, because we're seeing it again with Eric. Like I saw it again with Sonny, and then they kind of did that thing, and then now Eric is coming and he's doing his thing. Eric is not here again. Just letting you know. We giving him a little bit of a hard time because we were like, hey, we're going to record it today.
And we were talking about this all week, about what time, because we're going to do it at a later time than we normally do. And he's like, oh, I got plans, playing around. No, he actually
had plans. And we were like, oh, we just like that. You don't have plans? What are you talking about? And he's like, oh, I'm out of here. I'm going to go, whatever. I don't want to say his plans, but he's doing his own thing. And it's okay. Eric, it's fine. You better be here for the next week. That's
Eric, look it up.
Because I need things to look up, and I'm going to have to skip some of the subjects because I don't want to look it up on the fly. I could have looked it up before we press record, but again, I'm lazy, like my mom and dad say. Okay, so yeah,
we
that's
deserve to be a little lazy sometimes, though.
Yeah, I agree.
As much work as we do, and that's the things that, like, I work both jobs now. I can't let go of the business. I really can't. I try, and I just can't. It's something that I love to do. I love my kids. I love the school that I work with. I do, but yeah, I can't get rid of this second job. I just can't.
Yeah, no, and you miss it. You miss it because I was gone for a good 3 years at my the cell phone place, and I was like, I missed it a lot because it's not the same, because you get to see your parents all the time. You get to kind of interact with whoever,
and that's difficult.
Close family. It's difficult. Working with family is probably really, really
very difficult.
It's tricky. It's not difficult. It's tricky. The right word is tricky. And I think that kind of leads into some bullshit subject that Sonny wrote down about when, because we have a bunch of stories that when we were kids or growing up. And so there's a story that she exaggerates about. And I think it's not really that serious.
I am not that dramatic.
You were very dramatic. You were dramatic. She thinks, I want you to tell the story, but I'm going to just preface it with the subject of what you said I did. She says that I stabbed her in the leg.
You did.
With a headstone knife.
You did.
I didn't.
He didn't. Okay. He didn't do it on purpose, but it was his fault.
Okay. What happened? Walk me through.
I was happy.
Walk me through your trauma.
I'm happy and jolly. I'm here I'm at the office, and I'm doing my own shit. I'm working. I'm hardworking. I got from the cemetery. It was hot. I was sweating. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I don't believe this story anymore. Anyways,
we were at the office all day that day because we didn't have anything at the cemetery.
Wasn't it like raining or something?
Yeah, because we were carving inside.
Yeah, we were carving headstones inside. Yes, it was raining.
Yeah, so Louis gives me it's a 2x1 headstone, and he puts it on my desk, and he's like, you know what? Can you carve this one for me? I got another one I have to do. And I was like, yeah. So I'm carving, and then what happened? Oh, okay. So I don't remember what happened. Oh, okay. I was at my desk, and he's sitting next to me, like on a client chair at the other desk, and he's like, hold on, I gotta take this phone call. And he puts his file down on top of my carving knife because I was taking a break. Because I was like, you know what? Like, leaning over a headstone for hours at a time hurts.
It's tough on your back.
So I needed a break. So I put it down, and then he put the file on top of my knife, and then he's on the phone, I think, with a client or something.
Or either a client or like a vendor or something for business. So I was like,
and we're all trying to be quiet because it was like an important call. Mm-hmm. And so he pulls the file off my knife, and my knife goes flying right into my leg, sticking out. Sandy was even like, oh my, like we were all trying to be quiet, and I was like staring at the knife in my leg, and I was like, it's not moving. It's in my leg. Like, it was like, it's sticking out of my like through my jeans into my. I still have that scar. That was like 4 years ago. I still have that scar. I'll show it to you if you want.
You want to know the funniest thing is that when it happened, I didn't realize. I didn't see what happened.
Yeah, because he's facing like my desk was facing this way, and like Sandy was right there, and he was on this side.
Yeah, so
he
I kind
was
of
facing like the wall.
Grab the file. I'm on the phone. Grab the file. Don't look. Kind of swoop it up because
and,
I need to.
Like I saw the
it.
whole thing happen. It was like in slow motion. It was like spinning like this, and it just went into my leg, and I was like, what? And I was like in shock for a little bit because I was like, there's no way it went in my leg.
Yeah. So I'm on the phone and I'm obviously trying to concentrate because it's like a phone call that I need to pay attention to. And so the person's talking to me and I can just see Sunny and Sandy in the background like, oh my God.
We're not talking, but we're like shuffling around like, what do we do? I was spazzing like Eric.
And then I can hear Sunny, take it out.
No. I was like, and I pulled it out. I saw blood on the knife and I was like, me and Sandy made eye contact and we're like,
and meanwhile, the whole time I have my head turned because I'm on the phone and I'm looking at the file, kind of referencing for the phone call.
And then Sandy runs up to me and then he turns around.
All the commotion.
And he's like, shh. And he's like, yeah. And then this, you don't hold. Let me call you back. And he's like, oh my God.
Yeah, yeah. But I was literally about to be like, because I had my head turned and I can hear all the commotion. And now it's throwing off my focus. So I turn around and I'm like, will you guys shut the oh my God, because her leg was like freaking like almost like, squirting blood.
It was like running down my, like it was dramatic. It was not a big cut. It was like maybe that big. It was deep.
Yeah,
but it was not that big.
It must have hit like,
it had to hit like a vein or
I don't know
something.
We're not doctors, but there was just a lot of blood coming out, and I was like, what like the fuck?
A dramatic amount of blood too. It was like running into like down my leg into my like my shoe.
So I get off the call. I'm like, oh, let me call you back. So I get off the call. And I'm like, what did you do? Right? And both of them were like, you did it. They were like waiting for me to get off the call so that they could like blame me. And like,
it was your fault.
It wasn't really.
It was.
It's very irresponsible for you to put a sharp object
on my desk.
It was my fault. I'm trying to figure out a way for it not to be my fault, but yeah.
Okay, but also in your defense, I should have put the cap back on.
Yeah,
because I have there's a like when you buy an X-Acto knife, you have it comes with a cap, so when you have it down, that doesn't happen.
Right. So if you're ever gonna use an X-Acto knife, when you stop using it, put the cap on, or take the blade out,
or you'll have a scar for 4 years and a permanent bruise because every time I push it, it hurts. It does. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it got infected though. Cause
I don't know. It was pretty bad.
It was a dirty knife.
Yeah, it went deep in, and it freaked us out because we were like, what the hell? So
and it was like a dramatic like stabbing scene.
Like her pants were ruined.
Cut. Yeah, I threw
there was just like blood. We were like, oh, borderline, like let's take you to the ER, but also we're
also very my dad,
anti-ER.
My mom and my dad are like, just put a Band-Aid
on it. Just we put some gauze. We put some gauze and then put a bandage and
they also would have made it very dramatic at the ER because they would have had to give me like a tetanus shot for like the infection and all that. Like I just put a Band-Aid on it.
Just rub some dirt on it. And so so that's one of the stories that we had, and I thought that was kind of funny to share because I still get shit. Like every once in a while, her and Sunny will remember it and just randomly. I mean, her and Sandy will remember it and just randomly like, remember when you stabbed Sunny? And I'm like, I didn't stab her. The knife fell off the table and landed in her leg, and I happened to push it. That's
he
what
happened to fling it at me.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean that's another thing that happened.
It didn't hurt though, for some reason. I didn't know it was.
I think
in my
it was
leg.
more just like the shock of it all. No?
I didn't know it was in my leg, and then when I pulled it out, I saw the blood, and I was like, "It stabbed me."
Yeah, that was pretty wild. But yeah, more and more, we kind of just wanted to get into because some people will know what we do, but some people think I work at like a cemetery near my house, and I'm like, dude, I don't work there. Or some people think I work at a funeral home, and I'm like, no.
A lot of people, even at my job at the school, they're like, oh, you work at a funeral home, you own a funeral home. No, that's not what we do.
We don't own a funeral home.
We do not have the bodies in our office.
We don't carry bodies. I've seen bodies, and that's other stories. Well, we could actually touch on that. Yeah. We do something really cool. Well, really cool to us. We can't say where we do it. We do it all over. I've done it at several different cemeteries, but we actually, if you don't know, take bodies out of the ground. We mostly put bodies in, but
Yes.
maybe
But
three,
sometimes people
4
like
times
to
a year.
move their loved one, and somebody got to take it out.
Somebody's got to take it
Somebody
out.
got to dig the grave. We got to do it again.
So that somebody is us. And so we have taken old caskets out of the ground.
And sometimes you don't even see the casket anymore. If it's old enough and it was a wooden casket, that casket's gone after 7 years.
I want to give you guys a little bit of advice. And this is the advice I like to give to everybody I know. Whenever you're shopping for a casket, don't. It's not necessary to buy an expensive one.
Yeah.
We have to tread lightly here because I don't want.
We're not trying to offend anybody. We're not trying to
Right.
but there's no reason for you to buy a $10,000 casket.
No.
There's no reason for caskets to cost that much because you're never gonna see it again.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you what, we're gonna put a bunch of dirt on it.
Yeah, and it's gonna get dirty.
And it's gonna deteriorate with time.
Yeah.
It just does. Sometimes we're out at the bottom digging up a body and we're taking out bones. I mean, that's pretty much it. I know that a lot of people don't like to think about that, but that's what happens. I mean, it's just nature. It takes its course. You put something underground, it deteriorates. Just anything deteriorates, from flesh to the casket to everything. I don't want to get too gory.
It's just your skeleton.
It's just your skeleton at the end of it. After about 15 years, for the most part, you're just gonna be a skeleton. That's just it.
And I tell a lot of people that too. I'm like, look, you really don't need the most expensive casket because you're never gonna see it. I understand getting like a favorite color, like blue or pink or black. I understand that.
Yeah, because
don't spend so much money on a casket you're never gonna see again.
You don't need to buy like a Cadillac.
Yeah.
No, a Toyota Camry would do fine.
A lot of them get bent.
Yeah, they get bent because of the dirt.
Don't know that. Like the metal ones, they do bend. Like they're not gonna be intact once the dirt's on top of them. That's like hundreds of pounds of dirt.
Tons. You're talking about tons and tons of dirt. Literally,
like you don't know how heavy it is until you.
Yeah, I think what is it? 1 cubic yard of dirt is a ton. So think about that. We're going 6 feet deep, and 1 cubic yard is 1 ton. That's what I've been heard. That's what I've been told. If Eric was here, I'd have him look it up. But that's what I know. So if you want to look it up, and then if I'm wrong, you can tell me in the comments you're actually wrong. I just know that dirt is heavy. But I've been told that it's 1 cubic foot.
Like a lot, like
cubic yard. Cubic foot.
Even I have no idea.
Now I'm fucked. Now I'm confused. I just know like 1 cubic something is a ton. Oh man, I'm gonna sound so fucking stupid. Anyway,
like you also like think about it. You get a full shovel of dirt. It's heavy.
Yeah. So imagine
all that dirt at the same time.
You're talking more than 1,000 scoops of shovels of dirt.
It takes us about an hour to fill it up. But
yeah. Because we're fast.
Because we're the best ones.
Yeah.
We're the best.
We're the best.
So if you want the best, you gotta tell us. Just kidding.
You're gonna sound so cocky. No, but we've been doing it for a while, so we do know what we're doing. Know what we're doing. But that's a couple things. So yeah, we've taken out several bodies, and it's pretty crazy. There is one story I can get into. And it didn't happen to me, but my dad shared this story, and I just think it's hilarious. So I'm going to tell the story that he has told me, because I think it's the funniest thing, even though it's kind of like it sucked for him, but it's the funniest thing to me. He was doing that. This was before, I guess I was still like a young child. I was still too young to be out at the cemetery. So he was doing this disinterment without us, and obviously without Sonny and Eric, because I was yet an only child back then.
You were younger than 8?
I was younger than 8. Yeah, well, I was, because I don't remember this story at all, but he's told me this story several times, and it happened. He told me that it happened when he was younger, doing disinterments by himself. Okay. And so anyways, we're doing the setup, taking too long. This needs to be a 30-minute podcast. He was taking out a body, and it bones, right? So he's picking out bones. So what do you do when you pick out bones? You look for all the fingers. You look for all like the arm bone.
You don't realize how many
little bones.
Unless you're in the medical
so we're
field,
kind of
you
like
don't realize how many you got until you got to see it all.
206.
No, like not literally, but like you see it. And
Oh
it's
yeah,
like so
it's so many. It is.
Maybe
It's
sounds
overwhelming. It is overwhelming. But yeah, so you're looking for all the main bones at the very least, right? The ribs, the shoulder, collarbone. You know, the
fingers, toes,
the fingers, toes, and so as he's doing it, he's gotten all the main bones. You know, the legs, and I mean the not the legs, but the the skull, the ribs, the arms, and one of the legs, and he's looking for another leg. And he keeps looking and looking, and he doesn't want to say anything, but the family is there and they're watching him take the body out. And so he's looking and looking, and he doesn't want to say anything. He's like, man, I don't know if I picked this bone out already, but I'm missing a whole leg. Like I'm missing from the knee down. And so he finally, like an hour goes by or something, at least a good amount of time goes by, because he's like, I give up. I'm just going to let them know that I can't find it. And so he looks up from the hole, up at the family, and says, and the funeral home, and he says, I can't find the leg. And the son, who was watching him do it, was like, okay, I'm glad you said that. And my dad's like, what? He's like, I just wanted to make sure it was my dad. My dad had diabetes and they cut his leg off before he died. And so my dad was looking for this bone in the leg that was not there the whole time.
That's messed up, though. They should have told him that.
And my dad was like, oh my God, I wanted to get mad so bad because I was sweating my ass off down here looking for this bone that didn't even freaking exist.
That's messed up.
And then the son is like, okay, I'm glad you said that because he didn't have a bone.
So it's actually my dad then.
So yeah, he's like, oh yeah, I just wanted to make sure that you guys were getting my dad. And
after we pick out somebody, like, what if it wasn't?
What if it wasn't?
You wouldn't have known.
Right. And it was just so crazy. But the headstone is right there. And this is where you buried your dad. Why wouldn't it be your dad? You think they, you know what I mean? Some people have really weird things. Nobody's going to dig up your loved one's body. It's a whole hell of a lot of work to dig somebody up. So if somebody's really going to grave rob.
Oh my God. No one's going to. Like, I'm surprised that was a thing. Because you have to have a stamina to dig out the grave, open the casket, take everything out,
and get done before anybody catches seeing you doing what the hell you're doing.
Yeah, doing that in the middle of the night, you can't see.
Yeah,
that's
no. So
that's not realistic.
It's very not realistic. But so yeah, that's one story. That's a cool story, I think. It's not a ghost story. Sonny, do you believe in ghosts?
I do believe in ghosts. There's somebody living in my house. I swear to God, there's somebody living in my house. I swear. I'm doing, like, you know how when you go to the laundry room and that, like, the boys' room, like, where the boys used to sleep?
Yeah.
Like, you can hear, like, somebody just living in there, if that makes sense. Like, shuffling around, like, walking, okay. Like, I'm looking in my dresser, like, like living in your room. You in your room, you're just messing around, looking through your stuff, whatever. I swear to God, I hear somebody in there.
Maybe you're right.
But I don't open the door.
Maybe
I
you're
ain't
wrong.
messing with them.
So yeah, but we'll get into the ghosts, maybe another episode. But Sonny has a haunted house. I think my house is pretty old, so yeah, I'm sure every once in a while we hear some weird noises, but it's an old house, so maybe it's just that. Who knows? But yeah, we'll get into ghosts later. We have plenty of stories.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that they don't really happen at the cemetery though.
No.
They happen like here, or like when we were in Denver with our family, like yeah. It happens
other places. And maybe it's because we bring them.
Shit.
You never thought of that? We bring them from work. They say don't bring your work home.
But it follows you.
Shit. There's people following me.
Well, I need gas money if you don't follow me home like that.
I see dead people. So we're moving on from the ghosts. I have a story that happened a couple days before we went out of town, and you were there with me at the grocery store.
Oh God,
Do you remember?
that was gross.
We can't. Obviously, I don't want
Oh,
to
we're
get in
not gonna
trouble.
say that. Yeah, we
Don't
can
say the name
where
of the
it
grocery
is.
store, and people, yeah, because
I mean,
people
you
will be
can
in
try-
outrage.
try to
You can
guess.
you can ask me, and if I like you, then I'll probably tell you where I was, so that way you don't go
So
there
you don't
anymore.
go there. And
Uh,
then she was trying to warn us.
She was
too.
trying to warn. Okay, so
Oh,
hold on,
yeah,
we're getting ahead of it.
Yeah.
Sonny was looking for Texas toast.
Wait, whoa! You missed the whole thing. We were going to Reynosa.
They knew that. They knew that. Hold on, they don't need to know everything. Sonny, we were at the grocery store. Let's get inside the grocery store. We're looking for the Texas toast.
We have this huge list. Louis leaves me by myself. And
Yeah.
came back. I was crying by myself.
So she's like, I come back and she's like, I can't find the Texas toast. They wanted to make French toast, and so they used the Texas toast, whatever.
And I was looking like up and down like every aisle, and then like there was like this only like this little tiny section
For the
like,
bread.
Yeah, like a little like just a little section of bread.
Right.
And it had every kind of like brand of bread, but I couldn't find the Texas toast for some reason.
Yeah. So some lady's walking by. And so I stop her. I'm like, ma'am, excuse me. Oh man, I keep hiccuping. Can you burp me?
You're gonna start crying, Scarlett?
Ma'am, can you help us? Look, we can't find the Texas toast, but I know you guys have it because I've bought it here before. And she's like, yeah, we have that. And so she starts looking, and it takes her a while.
She's like, I know we have it.
Yeah, I know we have it.
I've seen it. I see it in the back.
Yeah, she's like, and I just stocked some recently or whatever. She's like a stock person. And so she's like, there it is. So she grabs, she points it out to Sonny.
And so
Sonny grabs the loaf of bread. And then the lady says, can you please, she's kind of like dancing around it. But
and I'm just staring at this toast like,
yeah.
I mean, this bread. It's not toast yet.
It's not toast.
And
yeah.
I was staring at it, and then I was looking at her like, what
And she's like,
do?
can you check it for holes? And then she's like, yeah, just check it for holes. And so Sonny starts like,
okay.
fucking.
And I was like, oh, maybe they fell, like they got torn on the box, and she didn't know which one's tore. I was like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna check. So I'm rolling it around, and I'm checking. I'm even checking the bread at this point because I'm like, it was a little green. I always, even then, no matter where I go, I check my bread.
Yeah.
Because I never know like how long it's been there. Really, is everybody gonna check every single? I mean, they're supposed to.
No, there's gonna be mistakes that happen
Yeah.
where moldy bread is gonna be like on the shelf. Maybe. Yeah.
So I always check my bread. So I'm like rolling it around. I'm checking for holes. I'm checking to make sure it's not green.
And so she sticks around this lady while Sonny is checking for the
while,
holes.
Yeah, like I'm like.
And then
she's still here.
She gets real close and she's like, it's because, mija, there's little critters back there. And I look at Sonny.
And me and Louis made eye contact, and he was standing next to me, and I was like.
And she's like, okay, as long as it doesn't have holes, okay, you're good because there's little critters out there, right? She says that.
And I was like,
we look at each other.
I was like, oh, okay.
And then I look at the full fucking cart we have of groceries. We have like over $300 worth of groceries
in the back, and I was like,
oh yeah, she said critters, and she's like little parasites, like little bug. And I'm like, lady, will you shut the hell?
I know. We had this cart full, like to the brim full, and so I was like, we should have just gone somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like I said specific store, but
Yeah.
I was like, we should have just gone there.
Yeah. And then I'm like, Sonny, we've been here over an hour.
Yeah. It took me a while to get all this stuff.
Yeah. Cause it was the groceries for the trip. So we had requests from my mom, requests from Sandy, requests from Eric and me.
So
and
I'm up and down the whole store.
Yeah. We're looking for a whole bunch of shit.
All this stuff.
And so it was like the cart's full, and I'm like, you know what? Then we'll get little bugs together. We're taking this shit home. So we took it home.
We also did like kind of look at the stuff, and we're like, oh, I mean,
everything was sealed. We made sure everything that was sealed and everything that wasn't sealed, but like we didn't have anything that wasn't sealed. So we kind of like,
I ended up going to the other store for more stuff though.
Yeah. She's like, once we heard that little thing, she's like, well, yeah, then let's just buy this. Let's just get out of here. And she's like, I'll go to the other store tomorrow.
Yeah. I was like, I'll go to the other store right now because I got to go anyway. So I'll just buy the rest of the stuff over there.
But I knew, she didn't want to mention, but I knew it was because of what that lady said. And honestly, it grossed me out. But now it made me think, like, are there little parasites in all the back rooms?
Because she's like, it's in the back room. Aren't all that stuff stored together?
Yeah.
Everything's stored together.
Yeah. It freaked me the hell out. Like, I'm like, what? And so, yeah.
Also, I did tell you when we walked in, the store is a little iffy.
The store's a little
I've seen
strange.
somebody walking barefoot in there before, so you know.
I like that one. You know what I mean? I used to
It's
like
good.
that store. I'm probably never gonna go back. I don't know
Really?
if
I mean, if
it's
you
so close to my house that
Yeah.
I probably will go back. But it's
But
gonna
for
take me
something sealed.
It's gonna take me a few trips to the grocery store to finally be like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to the closer one. Fuck that.
Yeah, because it's like down. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
don't
close to
explain
you.
where it is.
Yeah.
We don't want to give too much away, but yeah, check your groceries.
Check your groceries to
Make
make sure
sure
there's no holes
if
in
your
it.
bread has a hole in it, don't eat it. Don't eat it, please. Don't eat it. I'm telling you, I'm begging you. The stock lady's begging
And
you.
the fact that she was warning us.
Yeah, and she's like, Mija,
She
please
was
check
like,
it. Like what? Like whoa. I'm glad she did. You know what I mean? Because
I wonder if she can probably get in trouble for warning us though. I
Right,
mean, thankfully she
right.
did. Like it did help. It did help because we checked it, but
yeah, she could have
She
gotten into a
could-
lot of
yeah.
trouble with her work,
yeah,
and then the business could have gotten into a lot of trouble. So which is why we're not naming the name.
yeah,
We don't want to get
That's
anybody in
not
trouble. It's
our-
just a story that we heard,
yeah.
and honestly,
And it could
it's
have been just like
food.
that one time.
It's food. Like
Yeah.
in order to kind of like get you, there's gonna be critters where their food is.
yeah.
You know you know how they say that? I read online somewhere. Eric, look it up on the next podcast. Just go ahead and if you're listening to this as you're editing it, look it up on the next one. But they say that there's like at least like a few cockroaches in chocolate bars
Chocolate bars and peanut butter
and peanut butter.
because they can't.
They can
I
they
got
cannot
this
get
from,
rid
like,
of all
a
of them, right?
Factual website, not Wikipedia.
No, TikTok.
Not TikTok. I got this. I did research on this because
Oh!
it bothered me.
Hold on. I want to stop you. Your
Okay.
eagle beak story from a couple episodes ago
Oh my god.
is wrong.
Is it?
It doesn't happen. And then they said it like somebody that listens and watches the podcast looked it up, and was pretty much like, that's actually not true. So then they showed me like what is actually true.
TikTok.
TikTok let you down. Just letting you know. But yeah,
You know,
so
it was an iffy story. I didn't really think that somebody like the eagle would go and break their beak off so that it could grow back. How would they
Yeah.
grow it back?
Yeah.
That's
but what is
Crazy.
partially true that they told me is that yes, if their beak breaks off, it grows back
Yeah.
new, rejuvenated. If their talons break off, they come back new and rejuvenated. Yes, that
Yeah.
part is true.
yeah.
But it
Because
doesn't let
it's
them
like
live.
nails,
It
yeah.
doesn't let them live 70 years. They usually live around 30 something.
Okay.
So
TikTok.
yeah, factor cap.
I'm not getting on TikTok for an hour.
But yeah, going back to it, yeah, if you're talking about critters, there's critters in chocolate bars, there's critters in peanut butter, and I have read
yeah.
that. Like
I got that from a factual because they can't take every single cockroach, bug, everything
Yeah.
out of peanut butter.
because
they can't do
they
it
can't
out of
use the
chocolate bars
pesticides, they can't use the poison
because it could hurt us.
It could hurt us. So
So
they have
what
to use
they
like
gotta
food
just-
safety
Yeah.
poison.
So what they do is just I don't want to ruin it for anybody either, but they grind it up in the peanut
Mm-hmm.
butter. They grind it up in the chocolate bars.
That's a little bit of protein there.
It's not every single chocolate bar, but I mean, I'm sure it's.
But yeah, you're gonna eat critters. It's because where there's food, there's critters. There's rodents. There's
I did
roaches.
stop eating peanut butter for a little while when I heard that.
Dude, I eat so much peanut butter.
Yeah, now I do. I don't
Yeah.
because now I'm like, well, peanut butter is peanut butter. It doesn't
Yeah.
taste like cockroaches, so
I mean,
as long as I don't see the cockroaches.
yeah,
it's
as long as you
fine.
don't see that you're eating it, it's like
Yeah.
whatever. I honestly, at this point, if somebody served
We're
me
on
human
Fear
meat
Factor.
and seasoned it well, and as long as I didn't know it was human meat, I'd probably eat that shit. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Well, you're not gonna know.
I'd be grossed out if they told me, hey, you know what you just ate?
Yeah.
You just ate my Uncle Joe. You know what I mean? I'd be like, what is your problem, right? But if it tasted good, can I get a plate to go? You know what I mean? Just saying. But yeah, that was a little story that we had for the grocery store. And it was gross.
Yeah.
And so as soon as
I
that
am
lady
grateful
walked
to
away,
that lady though, because I will never go back to
yeah.
that store.
I think that's cool about having the
haven't gone
podcast
there
though.
in years. Yeah.
About having the podcast, that as soon as that lady walked away,
We're
me
like
and Sandy looked at each other. And we're like,
Sandy
I mean, me and Sunny. Sorry, me and Sunny looked away.
And we
I mean,
both
looked at
like-
each other,
podcast.
and we're like, "We'll talk about this on the podcast." Yeah, we should. Okay,
Right away we wrote it down.
yeah. Next one. this is kind of cool, and I think we should probably end on this because we're running short on time. I don't even know how long we've
Eric,
been going.
What's the time at? Little shit.
Damn it. That joke is still not getting old to me, to be honest. Eric, I love you, man. We were trying to make you feel bad a little bit for not being at this podcast. I love you, bro.
We even move the time for this kid.
Nah, it's okay. Eric is so cool. Like, he's doing his thing. He's growing up. I'm gonna use this time to talk nice about him because I'll never say this to his face. I'm proud of that kid. You know, he's doing great.
He's a little brat, but he's cool. Like, he's a cool kid.
He's always been a well-behaved kid, which is crazy to me because he's had every opportunity to misbehave because my goes unsupervised a lot because we're always busy.
He's the youngest, so now the youngest child never gets
they get away with murder
as well as we did. But he's always been very well behaved. He's always had
He's financially responsible.
Way more financially responsible than me.
Yeah. And he learned how to drive already. He knows he has
he has no fear in that kid either.
Yeah, it's cool,
if he wants to learn something, he's gonna learn it.
Yeah. Like even all this podcast stuff, like I showed him like a little bit of recording that I knew.
He was doing research on how to do all this stuff, what to get and all this stuff, with Louis.
Yeah. So let's see if he actually watches
it.
This one. He's gonna edit it, but it has like that edit part where as long as he syncs the audio, he doesn't have to watch the whole thing. Yeah. So if he watches this, Eric,
sometimes we're proud of you.
We're proud of you sometimes, bro. We keep looking in the direction he's usually at.
I know, yeah.
It's not here. Okay, so last subject. This is one that I picked up off online. If you could listen to one song for the rest of your life, only one song, which one would it be? Which song? And then we say it that way, but kind of to simplify it, what song is your favorite that you just don't get tired of? You can listen to it all the time.
Hold on. I have it. Hold on. I know what it is.
You do?
Yes.
Let's see. Sunny's on her phone. Don't answer any text messages. Just go straight to you. Oh, it's crazy. I think I have mine.
What's yours? Well, I look for mine. I know what it's called. Mm-hmm. I don't know who it's by. Why can't I figure out who it's by right now?
I'm gonna tell you. There's one that's like a guilty pleasure. Well, it's kind of coming back. I've noticed that music that we were ashamed of back in the younger years. I'm just gonna hold on. Let me preface it. It's "Break Stuff" by Limp Bizkit. I can listen to that song every day. It was my alarm clock for a long time because it's like it's just one of those days where you don't want to wait. I love that. But growing up, Limp Bizkit was always hated on because they were like the lame metal band.
Which is crazy though, because even I like Limp Bizkit.
Yeah. And then I even saw like younger kid. I saw a kid the other day wearing a Limp Bizkit shirt. And I was like, bro, you were scratching your dad's nutsack before... Like Limp Bizkit was like touring, like you wouldn't even exist. Like that's crazy. And then, but it's cool. Like,
yeah.
I hope he wasn't one of those posers that's wearing like a band shirt that doesn't know any of the songs. But it kind of gave me hope for like, oh shit, there's people that listen to good music still. But back then, Limp Bizkit was hated. Limp Bizkit was lame. Limp Bizkit, I'm talking about Limp Bizkit a lot. But yeah, that's mine. I think I can listen to that song all the time, any time of the day. Which one's yours? Do you have it?
Yes.
What is it?
I have two. Okay, well, also, you gotta also think, like, my favorite song changes, like, weekly. But these songs I go back to a lot.
Yeah. Talking about the timeless one. Yeah, the one that's just been...
Because for some, like, I like EDM music. I go to raves a lot. Like, I just like it. And then it's weird because I'm a bass head. I like Excision, Subtronics. I like that. Mm-hmm. I like dubstep. Mm-hmm. But... these are two house songs, and it's "You" by Galantis.
Okay, I think I know that
one. "Outside" by Calvin Harris.
Really? Those are kind of girly, no?
Yes, but I always go back to those songs because when I listen to those songs, it's like freeing. Yeah, if that makes sense. Like, like you could always dance to those songs. You could always be like free to those songs.
Okay.
Like it's just something that like you're listening to on like that long road with like the lights in the middle and you have the windows down. those are my songs.
Okay, I get that.
I will always go back to those songs.
Okay, I like that. If I have to pick a house song, because I actually like that's where me and Sunny kind of get along, is that we're both into like electronic music. She likes a different stuff, but
Yeah, Louis is the one who got me on EDM music, but
we share. But I think
yeah,
now that you mentioned that, there's this one song and it doesn't even have lyrics, but it puts me in a good mood no matter what. If I'm mad and you put that song on, like I'll be happy. Like at the end of that song, I'll be like just dancing. And it's like a disco type house song. And it's called Gay Dentist by Mr. Wazoo.
I think I've heard it. I
And
think you
it's
showed it to me.
great. Yeah, I play it
Yeah.
over and over and over. Yeah, I play it so much. I'm honestly, that's one that I'll never get sick of too. And it's just a house beat. It's just a beat. Like there's like a couple like vocal samples from like disco songs.
Yeah.
But that's it. Like, there's like the everybody dance. They use that part. And it's in there. And honestly, like I'm in there like just, hitting my disco beats. Yeah, but it's so cool. I'm glad that you were able to answer that, because before the last one you didn't answer your most embarrassing one, and the one before that, but you know what,
because
it's my fault. I should probably send you these questions and be like, hey, come up with an answer before we record.
Also though, you also know this though, I have like when I embarrass myself or I don't want to remember something, I won't.
You just kind of shut it out.
Yeah, I'm like me and Steph are kind of like on that, like when we don't want to remember something,
like that's like repressed memories, right?
Yeah,
like
it's not a good thing,
because you need therapy probably.
it's okay.
Yeah, hold on.
EDM is my therapy.
Oh my god!
And you know what drives me crazy is that when somebody says that they don't like EDM music,
yeah,
there's like when you hear EDM, you think if it's just a bunch of sounds. No, you just didn't find your genre.
Yeah.
Like there's so much. Like there's like there. I don't want to get into that.
Yeah, but yeah, I get what you mean, because
there's so many different genres of like EDM. It's not just like the beeps and bops. Like it's not like that. You can,
because there is that.
Dubstep,
There's the beeps and bobs,
like,
but there's also like
hard style.
There's like a like a comparison to like the other genres. So like there's a heavy metal version of EDM.
Yeah.
There's a hip hop version of EDM. There's,
like look it up on TikTok. Yeah, if anything, look it up on TikTok. EDM music, different genres. You'll find your genre. It's not just sounds.
I agree. I don't like all music, right? But I like a lot of music, and EDM is a big part of my playlist. But I'll listen to hip hop, country.
Yeah, it's not all I listen to.
Rap, rock, heavy metal, hardcore.
Yeah.
I
do have a question for you though, and it's not on our notes. Oh man. And it's about music.
I'm nervous. Okay.
Do you associate like memories with music? Like let's say that you're in a really bad, like, cause that's what I do. Like when I'm in a really bad mood, I'm like, I'm gonna go for a drive. I'm gonna listen to my music, and I listen to that music now. And I'm like, man, I can't listen to this song anymore because it reminds me of that time I was upset.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that happens with everybody. There's been a couple songs that remind me of like a girl that I was dating like back then, and then I'd be like, oh, I can't listen to this fucking song anymore because it reminds me of this dumb bitch.
Yeah.
Not to say, well, you're all dumb bitches, fucking, except my wife.
Oh, I'm telling you,
she's great. I love her. She does everything. She's a great mom. She's got a knife
under the table right now.
No, but yeah, like it does kind of put you in a bad spot. Like if something happened while that song was going on.
Like that bothers me. Like some of my favorite music, I'm like, skip.
But on the contrary too, is like I'll hear, what's that song? I Remember by Deadmau5.
Oh, I love that song.
And that song, and the funny thing is that it has I Remember in it, but that song brings a memory of me hanging out with like my best friends like in school, and we were like partying, and we like we drank in high school. Okay? I have to
we don't condone it.
We don't condone that. Don't do it. But we drank till the sun came up, and I remember that song playing, and I was just like, dude, the fucking sun is out.
Yeah.
We literally partied the whole night, and I was like, damn. Okay. But yeah, so that was a cool little that those memories. So there's good, like you can attach good memories and bad memories to music.
Yeah, because I hate that. Like even like most like. It made me want to stop listening to music when I'm mad. Now when I'm mad, I'm like, I'll just watch a show.
Mm-hmm. You know
I
what?
don't want to ruin my music.
You know what I like to do when I'm mad? I listen to music that's angry. I'll listen to like Slipknot or like some really like angry.
See, I tried
shit.
that and then I'm driving crazy and I'm like,
and it calms me down because
Really?
I'm like, oh, I'm not the only mad one. Corey Taylor's mad right now, you know. I don't know, but music is good for you, but there's also times where I like to like drive home in silence.
You know, sometimes I'll do that because I'm like stuck in my thoughts and I'll get to work. My work is 30 minutes away from where I live, by the way.
Yeah.
And I have to go there at 6 a.m. And I'll get to work and I'm like, I wasn't listening to music.
Mm-hmm. It's good to just like kind of meditate, you know. Yeah. And music gets you away.
I was like, what do I have to do for the day? What am I gonna do when I get to work? Like there's a whole bunch of stuff going through my head, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even listen to music.
Yeah. So it's been well over 30 minutes. So
Eric's got a good thing to edit right
let's
now.
cut it off from here. We'll cut it here. This was a cool little podcast. So we'll end it. We'll see you guys next week. Sonny, do you have anything else you want to add? Oh, dude, stop that. Okay. See you guys. God damn it.
Ow, my ears hurt. That had to have been like 45 minutes. Bullshit. You lie.